and I'm okay with that. I don't have to know.
Yeah, that's why I hang out with Alton too. I'm under contract.
And to be clear, this is a contract that you like declared upon yourself. And that's
No, the universe shoved it up my. Never mind. Seriously, I mean, I thought about, can I not go today? Can I not go? And the universe said, nope, you got to go. And I'm like, okay.
You mean the volume about the louder?
Oh, yeah.
How does the universe speak to you, Craig? Is it a voice or how does that work?
That's a really good question. Thank you. It's it's like a constriction. It's like it's and it's and it feels almost disapproving. Like you should know better.
But you don't think of it as an instinct, right? Because you don't believe in instincts.
Don't believe in instincts.
it sounds like some record of a father figure or some external authority figure.
Yeah, fine. I don't have to make up a story about it. I'm quite okay with it just being there. And so far, my head hasn't exploded. I've come off of these calls incredibly exhausted and pissed off.
I would be curious how you differentiate your experience from it gets tighter from what other people call instincts, though.
You'd have to ask them. I don't know their experience instincts.
Okay.
The experience can be the same.
I have an interest in having friends get more of the life that they want to live out of the time here. And I see that that's like a fantastic byline and like tag that you have for like dojo practice, live the life you want to live.
Yeah.
And you have a very unconventional model through that. I've known Corey over 15 years, and it's just been incredible to see the different phases of both of our lives weaving in and out. And I want to make it easeful for more of this work to be more legible. It's
God bless you.
May I ask you, Alton, if it's okay? So Cray said he was thinking of not coming here, but the universe told him to come here, and so he's here. Do you think Cray is living the life he wants to live?
yes, I imagine he likes to sub to the universe.
Okay, great. And so who is the you in your statement? Like the life that you want to live? What is the you there?
Oh, he's cooking with gas.
You're asking me?
Yeah. I mean, it's your tagline, no?
No, it's my tagline.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's used all the way down, Jochen.
Okay.
You all the way down.
Yeah, Jochen's making a philosophical pointer out that the you is a construct. It's not real. In dojo, you are a point of consciousness, and you're wearing a human suit so that you can have a human experience. And the character that you think of as I is a character. You weren't at choice when you went to when you came into this life, you didn't say, oh, I'll have that one, please. You were programmed by your caregivers and your history and your meaning making. And now you think that there's a special thing called I, and somehow it's different and more important or more relevant than any other character you could be doing.
But it speaks to me with regards to the conversation you had with Sean King about like kin orientation and like being more where the you is actually not just this little I. Cool.
Okay. Fiona, you had some interesting like things I mentioned earlier that were non-dual flavored as well. I'm interested in like what comes up for you so far, even just what you're hearing. Also, you had some experiences from some other friends that also shared some concerns they had.
I had pinks that were what flavored? Tantra flavored?
Non-dual, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hate non-dual.
What do you hate about it?
I like being human. I like having an eye. Hate's probably too strong.
Non-human?
For me, human is about being at choice, about having an eye. People in comas don't have an eye, as far as I know. Okay. Now I've seen people who I would bet money that they're non-dual. It doesn't look like a lot of fun. I'd rather have fun. I would rather have fun. There's no, as far as I can tell, there's no benefits to being non-dual.
Being less attached to that I seems like one benefit of at least occasionally being non-dual.
I don't think I think it's one of those things like you're alive or you're dead.
Hmm.
You know, you're either non-dual or you're dual or more. I don't think you can bounce back and forth between them. I've had non-dual experiences and I never want to have them again. And yeah. I've seen, I mean, you don't escape from suffering. Everything that happens still happens. You hit yourself with a hammer, it still happens. Everything that's in the program is still going to be there. There's just not an I. Next time you're dropping acid or doing mushrooms or in ayahuasca land, just think about what would it be like to not have an I? And if you come back, maybe you'll have something for the rest of us.
Yeah, I feel called to having an ego death experience, and that's something that I have sought and not attained yet. I feel like it's something that's worth experiencing, whether or not it's something that I want to exist within for the rest of my life, right?
Why? What makes you think it's an experience worth having? Try shitting a bowling ball.
I mean, what's worth going to Europe, right? What's an experience worth having? We're just talking ontology there, right?
No, I'm saying I want to go to Europe because I like the bread.
Okay.
I can tell you why I want to do that.
Yeah, well, maybe I want to know what parts of my reality are me versus reality.
Oh, I don't know who Igor is, but I like his laugh. I like his laugh.
That's a good desire to have. Yes.
He agrees. He agrees.
No, I think he's being very sarcastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
You don't think it's a good thing to have?
I mean, if one could, then sure. But I think what you just asked for is really impossible. And really, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Is it possible to separate the
Yourself
subject?
from reality? Yeah, for sure.
Well, isn't that what ego death is?
Yes,
The
yeah,
self, right?
I think it depends at which level of meta you're thinking of.
Okay. Well, I'm still alive. Like my body.
Leona, do you know more than Igor about this?
I'm
In
not
your
sure.
opinion?
You go about an hour ago.
What? Sorry, I missed that.
I said I'm not sure. I've met Igor about an hour ago. I have the impression we both know a decent amount about it.
Yeah, I've had non-dual experiences that lasted a while. They were really fun and nice, and I think useful.
Why am I more interested in her than you, Igor?
Hmm.
Well-
Well, why are you asking a question about yourself when you can tell us?
I'm asking for your opinion.
Hmm.
I'm looking for your ability to pay attention to something other than your desires about what you want to say and be seen as and stuff. Are you actually aware of the room at the same time?
No,
I don't
probably
think
not.
you are.
No.
Why would I be more interested in what she thinks about this than you do?
I don't know.
Because she's holding back,
Hmm.
in my opinion.
That's true, but I'm always holding back.
No, you're not always holding back. Generalities are never true.
Well, that's true.
Oh, gee. I know it's pretty easy to look at Corey and say, I can kind of sense what he wants. You know, I can read
What
the
does Corey
meme.
want?
Yeah.
Corey wants to be special. He wants to be. Well, no, you're not. But he wants to be. He wants to be able to walk into a room and to have the badges and the trophies that mark him off as being something special, rather than who he's being. He wants to have the like the Boy Scout badges.
Are you benchmarking off of my hair? What are you benchmarking off of there?
I don't know. Your pixels. I don't know. I don't have to know why.
Okay.
Igor is he's having a good time, and he's riding. It looks like you're riding this crest of some kind of wave, Igor, and it's what is. It's not quite a winning lotto ticket, but it's like it's like you're on an experiential wave that feels really good. And a lot of the thing you're like up there laughing with all the philosophers who have, who have gotten out of their heads and they're laughing at the embodiment and the craziness of it up without letting go of your brain. And so it looks like you're being tickled by a lot of the ordinary things in life.
Yeah, that feels right. Being tickled is a good description.
Yes, it's like watching you be tickled by Corey, and you're watching the language, and you're like watching the loops, the recursive loops within the language, and going, ha, 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 good luck with that, Corey. You're going to be chasing your own tail. Yep, and maybe you'll catch it, and maybe you won't. But there you go. Why would your ego say yes? Let's go die. That doesn't make any sense. So if you're actually saying, I think I'd like ego death, that's just a red flag.
A red flag in what? In the quest for...
It's like you're looking for a shiny toy that you don't really understand what it's about. You're like, you think you know what it's about. You think you know what ego death is about. And you think it's going to mark you as special in some way, like, a small dog pissing on your leg or something.
I don't seek ego death for others, right? I mean, I don't seek it to say, hey, I did ego death and there's my little Boy Scout badge, right? I seek it to understand myself and the world I live in.
If you're going to kill it, how do you understand it? Who's going to be doing the understanding?
My understanding of ego death is that it's a temporary experience, except unless for those non-dual people, maybe.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
But Leon was back.
Super helpful.
It's you think you know what you know, Corey. That's the hard thing. You're unwilling to empty your cup. Now, if you took your cup,
what that means. What does that mean?
It's an old Zen parable that the big important person comes to the Zen teacher and says, I've been studying philosophy for 30 years. Teach me about Zen. And the Zen guy orders in tea, and then the general holds up his cup and he fills it and he keeps pouring and it overflows. And the guy says, stop. You're overfilling the cup. And the Zen guy says, well, first you have to empty your cup. If you want to learn anything, you have to empty your cup first.
So like forget what you know or you think you know.
You can't forget it. Come on.
Or like put it
But
aside.
stop believing it. Stop believing that it's true. If you hear somebody say, why would it want to die? Then you ask yourself, wait a minute, what does that mean? It. What's he referring to? Oh, the ego. Now, the ego is built so that it keeps certain things going. Why is it going to let you go to the place where the big protector, the big definer of who you are, gets destroyed?
That's a good question to ask. I mean, you mentioned Zen. Isn't the outcome of Zen some form of non-dualism or ego death?
If you're doing real Zen, probably not. If you're taking a little thing and drawing little sand sculptures in your little thing, it's hard. It's not. Oh God, I don't know what to do.
I'm hearing you dismiss one desire using the modality of Zen, which the outcome is a similar place, right? So
you can go to a Zen place and do it for, if you're lucky, you'll do it for 5 years and you'll get to that place and you'll be like, oh, what happens now? Oh, you're chopping wood and carrying water. You think it's a thing. It isn't a thing. It's like looking left or looking right. That's all it is. Your ego goes away for a while. So what? It comes back. And, I do a lot of inner child work, or I used to. God, I don't want to do that again. But I'm a great proponent of inner child work. For people first starting out, God, go do IFS. Find, you don't even have to pay for a real therapist. There's plenty of lay people out there futzing around with it. But eventually you have to take these little kids that you've bonded with and you've bought little toys and you were the good parent for, and you have to walk to the White Cliffs of Dover and you have to pet it, and then it looks at you, oh, you're my loving good parent. You have to hold it out, and you have to let it go. And it's going to look down and say, no, you can't do this to me. I'm your loving inner child. and you go, you're not the boss of me. Whoop.
When you say you have to do that, what do you mean by that?
You have to stop believing them.
Why?
Because otherwise you're just using them as another external authority figure.
Where does the have come from? Like, why do you have to do that?
Well, you don't have to, I imagine, but if you want to eat normally, you have to put food in your mouth. I mean, there are
What's the
other
goal
ways
behind
of doing
it?
it.
So when you kill them, what happened? Like, sure,
They
in
come
that
back.
framework, what do you gain?
They come back. They're not real, for God's sakes. They're not real kids. They're programming in your head.
And
All you're doing is saying, this is I'm no longer going to believe you as if the words of God are coming out of your mouth. You are telling me a story, and I can choose to align myself with that story or not. I'm bigger than my stories.
yeah, that seems straightforward.
Wait, thank you. I'm so glad that you see it that way. God, I thought I was going to have to change my whole meaning of my life.
Greg, can you help me relate to like the internal kids that feel angry or shameful at times? How do you relate to that?
Internal family systems, internal kids, the theory is that at a certain age, due to trauma of some kind, you put things away. Okay. And these kids have the stories. They're neural networks. They're in there. So what you're going to do is you're going to go back and you're going to try to find out what the hell happened. Is this true? Who knows? You might know, Alton, or your kids might know because they all have video on everything. But us people don't. So I'm going inside and my kid tells me about my dad passing me around as a party favor at sex parties when I was a little kid in Southeast Asia. It seems plausible to me. It explains a lot of things in my life. Do I know that the inner kid is telling me the unvarnished truth? Absolutely not. But sooner or later, I have to go back and unpack that stuff. I have to unpack my hatred of my father. I have to unpack my aversion to touching men. Okay? I had to unpack loving the attention and loving some of the abuse. That's another thing to unpack. But once you have those things, you get to own them as the kid, because they were put away when you were 6, 7, 8, 9. With childhood, with that era's experiences, meaning making, and skill sets. Okay, so when you unpack these things, usually it's kind of chaotic. But now I can relate to touching another male in a way that I want to touch as an adult male, rather than as a terrified or a thrilled, 7-year-old. But you can't have access to this stuff just by wanting it to happen. You have to put yourself into places where your inner kids get triggered, and you have to do the things that they don't want you to do. You have to do the things that they're terrified of happening because of what it brings up for them.
Is it bringing something up for you? Is it bringing something up for you?
No, I was agreeing. It's also what I've been displeased to find now.
Displeased, and she smiles. So in order to claim the passion or the sadness or whatever and use it as an adult, if you can't do that now, it's because theoretically it's locked up someplace. And it's not rocket science. You just put yourself in the situation where you get triggered and you're doing those behaviors that little kid learned to do. All right? And the easiest thing is do the opposite. Instead of being intellectual, be emotional. Instead of being emotional, be intellectual. Instead of fawning, be aggressive. And that should bring up the stuff. And you can deal with it. You can say, it's okay. I'm an adult now. I understand that when I was 6 years old, a man saying he was going to beat the shit out of me if I didn't stop crying meant something. Okay? But right now, there's nobody in this room that's going to beat me if I cry, so I can practice crying when it's real for me.
How's that relevant to what we were talking about? Inter-family systems, right?
I don't know. Somebody was saying something about something, and I went off on a tear. I don't know.
Okay.
I was interested in how you interface with the angry internal kid parts or shameful kid parts of you, and you were sharing the interface with
Okay, yeah.
and doing the
First,
opposite.
first you have to deal with them. Then you have to do the, if you're pushing it, you spend a week being their friend, being the good parent, being the good comrade, and saying it's okay if you want to tell me how much you hated your parents, if you want to do some visualization about killing your parents, I got all the weapons in the world, have your choice, and I'll bring them back to life until you're dead. You're trying to get them to complete the emotional, the emotional reality for them, which they couldn't do because they were told to stop. And so you help them complete on that. That demonstrates to yourself that you don't have to fear what they feared. That's the point. We're human beings. We get hijacked by our amygdalas. It's part of the biology. You can train yourself out of it. You can train yourself to ignore it. And one of the things you can do with it is you can say, oh, okay, it's not going to make my head explode. No matter how horrible it is, it's already happened. I've survived it at least once. So now I can invite it in and say, I can hold this so this 6-year-old memory doesn't have to keep holding it anymore. I don't have to believe about the memory what me as a child believed about the memory. So you go after the angry parts or the pissed off parts. Now, one of the problems is that people get in there and they like their dark sides. For me, it's 3 speed bumps. You go back there 3 solid times, that's it. Some people are like, no, I need to hate more. I need to curse my mom more. I need to, whatever. And I'm like, no, you don't. I understand you want to, or a part of you wants to. And then you figure out how you're going to create a vocabulary and dance steps and skill sets with these emotions as an adult human being. The point, the underlying theme is that in dojo, you want access to all chakras at all times. You want to be at choice about it. You don't want to be told you can't be angry.
How
have
can
to
we
smile
apply this, you
pleasantly.
said, as an adult now? You said to give us more of that range in the face of things like shame. Like, what does an adult relationship or dance look like with shame?
Yeah, I don't know.
Now,
What does your adult look like?
right, I'm curious to model it from like yourself and Jane have some dynamics where there's like maybe there's
That's
shame.
our dynamics,
Okay,
not yours.
you don't think it's helpful to model pedagogically speaking?
No, it's not. It's like why set something up and say, oh, this is what a backhand looks like. I'll give you the overall idea about what a backhand looks like, but develop your own.
Okay.
Everything that human beings are capable of, they're still going to happen with adults. They're still going to happen with multiculturalists.
I don't know what Jane is, but I'm curious about the shame part. I don't feel like that was fully answered.
What do you want to do? Shame is going to arise. Okay. What are you going to do with it? You're going to collapse on the floor. You're going to pretend that it doesn't exist. What are you, as you're crafting your own character? How do you want your character to dance when your feelings of shame come up? What do you want to teach your daughter to do when she has feelings of shame?
I would say feel through them and then go ahead anyway. Like do what they were telling you not to do.
I don't know. I mean, that might be a really good sort of meta, rule, but it depends upon what's happening. I mean,
Right. But I mean, for example, I have this thing about being seen, like kind of being perceived, makes me really uncomfortable, and it happens all the time. So
Igor, are you going to let her say that? You're going to let her get away with being seen? You're not going to ask her to nuance that down and try to find out what the particular quality of being seen is. What does she think they're really looking at?
Maybe he was trying to let me finish my sentence.
No, I was mostly applying that to myself and thinking through how it applies to myself. I wasn't.
Yeah, once again, the adolescent masculines are making it all about them and not paying attention to the kin group in the room. Yeah.
Okay,
Nice
so
try,
for
Leona.
This being seen thing for me, it feels like there's shame in there, but it's like fragments of shame so small that they kind of direct my behavior in sub-perceptible ways. So I can't always like be like, oh yes, I'm feeling shame, so let me just like look at that and then do the opposite. But rather it shapes my behavior in unseen ways.
Oh, that's so
Like,
convenient. You can't work on it if it's
No,
not
I
seen.
That's why I'm
How?
talking about it.
How could you work on it if you can't see it? First of all, from a dojo perspective, it's not about globally being seen. It's about certain parts, certain interpretations. You don't want to be seen as attractive. You don't want to be seen as sexual. You don't want to be seen as powerful. You know, you have to narrow it down.
Yeah.
Okay? And so once you've narrowed it down into something that's smaller than being seen, that's fucking ridiculous new age bullshit crap. You know, then you have something to work with, because then you can set yourself up with situations. You can set yourself up with exercises. You can set yourself up to where you're going to show up as powerful, sexy, idiotic, stupid, you know, whatever the trigger is, and you're going to set yourself up, and the person's going to say, God damn, you're stupid. And you can feel that. You can slow everything down. You can say, okay, what's happening? And philosophically, you know, it's a little girl, theoretically. Could be a small giraffe, but usually it's the same. So there's a little girl there that is being made fun of because of XYZ, or being punished because of XYZ. So you do the 3 speed bumps. Oh, hi there. Da, 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 da. It's okay. How did you really feel about when they said this? Did you feel shame? No, I want to kill the person. You know, so you say, okay, how would you kill them? What do you mean, how would I kill them? You said you wanted to kill them. You're 6 years old. You're probably a normal small child, and you feel really big. When you want to kill somebody, it's not, gee, let's put a bullet in their head. Let's make them suffer. And you're like, okay, let's make them suffer. But good girls, it doesn't matter. This is about you being able to complete on what is real for you. Small version of myself. So on the planet, Corey?
More or less. I was
More or
attuned for
less.
that conversation. I think before I was definitely kind of, my mind was wandering. I was less present.
Less present.
Great. I'd like to generate some deliberate practices with friends to do in this home. Corey and Leona are here till tomorrow, and Huber's here for this afternoon. I want to like design more work around noticing, like when it seems like there's a flicker of shame or some anger that's hidden underneath the surface, how we can socially permission more of that.
Yeah, that's good context for Cray. Maybe earlier on we had a conversation, the 4 of us, around anger and shame and curiosity around that. So maybe there's something he could do with that.
First, you have to own it. You have to own that it's happening. You have to notice that it's happening. Maybe other people are better at noticing it than you are. You know, each of you can sit down and say, oh, these are the things that I'm ashamed of, or these are the things I'm angry about. And you know, the first thing is you know, cooting, knowing what's happening, owning what's happening, outing what's happening, and then dancing with it. It's an easy acronym, KOOD. You know that you're feeling shame, and you're owning it. That's where you go inside and you try to feel it as big as you can, as many chakras as you can. And then you're saying, oh, when I usually feel this way, oh, I'm feeling shame, everybody. That's number 3. And then when you dance with it, you're like, in the beginning, this is what I usually do with shame. Now I'm gonna really make this big and huge and over dramatize it, so you guys get a real good taste of it. Oh no! You know, you act it up, you ham it up. You make it ridiculous, but real for you. And then you're like, okay, that's what I normally do. And now I am going to do, and that's up to you. That's for you to try on, to do something different. So the first thing you do is don't do what your reaction is telling you to do. That's the very first place to establish will. The second place is do something different. If all you can do is this when you're feeling shame, and you don't normally do that when you're feeling shame, then do that. Okay? Third thing is explore the 180. Explore the exact opposite of things the way that you usually deal with it. And the last thing is do the thing that's going to lead you into the life that you think you want to have around this issue. Dead silence. Hey!
Okay, so let's take what for me anger is more present. So like if I was angry,
Yeah, really. Thanks for letting us know.
I would say I'm angry. Guys, I'm angry. When I'm angry, I tend to raise my voice, right? And then I would raise my voice in a humorous manner. That would be dancing.
Yeah. Tell me what an asshole I am. Be really angry with me.
Okay.
And let it be childish.
Well, with their consent. I mean, with you, it would, in this container, it makes sense, right? I'm saying in general,
I'm the same practice.
yeah. I would want to have someone's consent before I got very angry.
You have my consent.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not that angry with you, Craig. I'm just kind of frustrated and bored more.
Okay, so try going to acting school, Corey.
I was at clown school last night. I was at clown school last night. That's an acting school, yeah.
Okay, so practice. Step
Being
into the
angry.
character that you're really pissed off at me.
Yeah.
Let's see you demonstrate your capacity to embody acting.
Oh, I never said I was a good clown.
You're
Craig, you're a
my-
hack. You're a
Thank
hack,
you.
and you respond to the content or the tone of what people are saying rather than the content. Like when you interrupted Leona trying to share her feelings, and we're like, "Oh, whatever," blah blah blah. And it's like she's sharing her feelings, man. Like, isn't that what we're here for? Come on, dude. How's that?
Yeah, I give you like a 2 or a 3.
Okay.
But again, that's so it is. So now you're like, okay, let's pretend now you're gonna do the 180.
Well, remind me again, something that I don't normally do.
Yeah, what's the 180? Excuse me, Mr. Grimont. I'm very angry with you right now.
Oh, okay.
And do the 180, see what happens.
Okay. Well, Cray, I'm very upset with you interrupting people sharing their feelings on a coaching stream because that doesn't seem conducive to a good coach session to me.
How's that feel?
Better? More
Better
real.
in which way? More real, okay.
I don't know.
So now the fourth version is if you're feeling anger and you're in a what you consider to be an adult place, what do you want to do with it? You can act from it, you can ignore it, you can ramp it up, you can ramp it down. There's any number of things that you can do. Now, this is a little bit of a trick question because before you do any of that, you want to have an idea about who your audience is, who's your dance partner, and what do you want to create with them. Because that will lead you to how you want to behave. If Leona's doing something that I think is really stupid and childish, I'm going to interrupt her. And she smiles. How do you make sense of that, Corey? I am telling you that, in my opinion, I am not asking for her consent. I am not checking in with her. I'm saying if I think that she's doing something childish and beneath her, I'm going to interrupt her. And what the hell happens with Leona? She doesn't get pissed off. She smiles. It looks like she likes that. Why in the world would she like that?
I don't think she's smiling because she likes it.
I
don't
I'm
want
not
to speak
asking
on her behalf.
Don't ask her. Come up with an idea about that.
Well,
I dare you, Corey.
okay. I mean, my story there is that okay, you're gonna eat this shit up, Craig. My story there is we live in a patriarchy in which women are socialized to
Yeah.
be safe
Why
around
does she like it?
angry men, right? So like smiling and taking it is kind of like what the socialized patriarchal response would be, right?
Okay, so that's pathologizing her, but make her strong.
Well,
Tell
she's-
me a story about why she does that, and she's not a victim of the patriarchy, that she's a full-blown grown adult woman and making her own goddamn choices, hearing the patriarchy behind her, hearing the theories about what the matriarchy would be, whatever it is, but she's doing this from a place of power, not victim.
I am a victim of the patriarchy, so to be clear.
Yeah, whatever.
I see what you're saying. Why would she smile if she was strong? I mean, I could just sit here and come up with things, but she's right here.
No, that's because this is the point. You're not looking to get validation from an external authority figure. You're trying to demonstrate your dance style. She's looking at you and saying, if you can't voice that on your own, why am I going to spend any time with you at all? If you can't dance with me as if I'm a powerful woman making my own goddamn choices and I'm not a victim of the patriarchy, if you can't formulate some idea of that, tell me, why do I want to interact with you?
Well, I don't interrupt her when she's speaking.
If she's being
right? So I haven't
stupid,
gotten
if
that
she's
smile. I haven't
talking
gotten that
about-
particular smile from her because I'm not interrupting her when she's speaking. Generally, I mean, tell me if that's not the case.
It is not the case.
Exactly. So I haven't seen that particular smile, Cray. If I'm leaning in my anger right now, I haven't seen that particular smile before. So I am learning.
Why don't you
what
try
it is and what it might
treating
be
her
at
as a
this moment.
teammate,
What?
as someone who's strong, as someone who can make her own choices about her life,
Same
someone
page.
who isn't a victim?
Yeah, yes,
Try that. You might get the smile.
Why would she smile by being interrupted? Because it
Because
feels
she knows
true. I
she's
mean, that's-
being stupid.
because she's being stupid.
It's a shit test.
She's not being a victim, she's being stupid. Got it. Very different. Yes, much
It's
more
a shit test,
constructive.
Corey.
for who? For you? For me?
For
her?
you, for everybody around her.
Whether they could detect
Oh,
if
God,
the smile is
look at
authentic or
her.
not?
Look at her. Do you think she falls within one standard deviation of what the patriarchy says is an attractive feminine? Look at the way she has her hair. Look at the cleavage. Okay. She knows she's attractive. She's dressing to show off her attractiveness. Okay. And she knows that every single guy who's talking to her while looking at her boobs, she doesn't want to really talk to. She may have to. And so she's looking for something, she's looking for somebody else to treat her other than as a commodity, other than as a trophy. And so if you're saying, oh, I'm not going to interrupt you because I wouldn't want to hurt your feelings, she's like, fuck off. Well, who put you in charge of my feelings? I want you responding out of the truth and the realness of who you are, not because you think my feelings might get hurt.
I mean, I don't interrupt my friends either, but I see what you're saying here.
You
I do
okay,
think-
Leona?
I do think
Yeah.
it's interesting that she has things about being perceived and dresses so cute. So I would agree with that. That's
So first of all, Corey, let me give you a little tip. Until you get a way more practice, never refer to a woman as cute. Okay? Never.
Dakota, any thoughts on that?
I'm so fucking annoyed by you right now, Corey.
Me? Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad. Welcome to the chat, Dakota.
I've seen
Hi.
both sides.
Okay.
Of course you do, Rian. You're a
You don't
philosopher.
like being called cute, Dakota? Okay.
No,
Well,
I
that's
hate
good.
it. No, not
How
at
about
all.
you, Leona? Do you like being called cute?
In some instances, but not.
What? Wait. Well, yeah. Igor's like, go for it, Craig. Go for it. What circumstances do you like being called cute in?
Ones where I am intentionally infantilizing myself for
In
fun.
what I would be really curious in what situations you purposely infantilize yourself. Hear that, Corey?
People like kind of playing with a partner, just
What kind of play? Like ping pong? Like you're into diaper play?
oh my god, no. You know, the kind of weird language and interaction habits you develop in a long relationship.
Ah,
Where you
okay.
kind of just like
So don't give us a taste of you. Give us a taste of philosophy, Leona. That works really well for you.
that's true.
Hmm.
But to answer your question before, I would mostly agree with everything you said. I don't think I wouldn't have called it a shit test necessarily.
Should I interrupt you right now?
If you have something smart to say, sure.
No, I'm saying, are you speaking stupid?
Because you're stupid. You're not a victim, but you're stupid. Remember.
I love that you're kind of insulted for me, but I don't feel insulted.
Okay.
It's
Good. That's a good thing to name. Yeah.
Please, woman-splain him.
Yeah, can we make that a thing?
Let's make it a thing. Start right now. Make it a thing. I don't even know what a shit test is, so if someone could woman explain that.
Corey, meet Ryan. Ryan, meet Corey.
Ryan's the car guy. Hey, Ryan.
No, Ryan's the other philosopher that you should get to know because you two might be able to help yourselves punch out of that goddamn paper bag.
I was just writing you a text message to check if you were reading the chat because I wanted to give you a hand, Corey. You seem to be struggling.
The chat.
I haven't done it yet.
Not up to date, but I will bring it
No,
back.
no, I didn't send it. Craig preempted it.
Okay, the chat is up to date.
Yeah,
I'm doing
I
fine.
haven't-
Thank you. But I'm doing fine.
Yeah.
Don't know what a shit test is, but other than that.
A shit test is
Would
something
would
you put
like to
out
know what a
there.
shit test is?
Yes.
Would you like to? Why not just tell him, Ryan? Why keep asking for fucking permission?
It's not permission. It's passively provoking the other person. And
I'm
yes,
listening. I'm listening.
it's passively inviting the other person to assume a posture of receptivity. Otherwise, I'm just throwing words at them that they're going to be closed off to. If I say, "Would you like to do this?" then they're
Get more
committing internally.
skillful, gets more skillful, and get past their armor. So a shit test, Corey, is the things that you put out there that if people buy into, you know that they're really not interested in the person who's putting on the show.
Okay. Like an NPC test almost.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like if you interact with Coda, all right, and you notice her body, okay, and you say, "Oh, you have a slightly larger than normal body."
Totally something I would say. Okay.
Mhm.
Moving on. Yes.
Yes.
I see that.
She's going to know that she doesn't want to dance with you. Because if you can't see past the thing that she's using to protect herself, if that's where you stop, she really doesn't want. She may ride you a few times because you're cute and you have
I'm cute.
something.
She can't be cute, but I can be cute. Okay, yeah.
With that hairstyle, come on, that's the best you're going to get. You're not going to get handsome. You're not going to get striking. You're going to get cute.
Let's say you're right. I don't know that that's necessarily true, but let's say you're right. You were saying shit test, Dakota's body, blah blah blah.
So when you look at Leona, what do you pick up on? When you just look at her as a group of pixels? What's the first things that strike you?
Are you asking me?
Yes, I'm asking you, Corey.
She has bright red hair. Like
no, it's not bright red. It's red. It's not bright. It's not as bright as her lipstick.
Well, I don't see a lot of hair like that in the world at large. So
okay, what else?
Unique. She's wearing a fun sundress.
Fun.
Is fun. Cute, maybe one could say. That's what I noticed. I don't know. She's got lipstick on. Do you have lipstick on? I think you do. Yeah. Yeah.
You don't notice her tits.
I was looking at the pixels. If I'm looking at the real thing, yeah, maybe it's a little different.
Maybe she's dressed like that, and you're going to say, "I don't notice it." First of all, then I don't want to interact with you because I went through a lot of trouble to wear this, to choose this. Okay, I chose this dress, and I see what it does. I'm not silly. Okay, I know what this dress does. I know what it does to my ass. I know what it does to my height. I know what the colors do. I know what the lipstick does. I know what my eyebrows do. I know what the hairstyle does. I know how it accentuates my neck. Yes, I know all of these things. Right? And she's using those to say, are you going to notice the thing I'm putting out there? This is Coda putting out her body. Are you going to react to my body? Or are you going to this attractive thing? So there's a fierceness in Leona and also in Coda. There's a fierceness that Leona is hiding because fierceness in this culture is usually stomped on. Especially fierceness with people who are closer to the norm. Sorry, Coda, not really. Closer to the norm of what physically attractive looks like. Now, in my book, Leona's crossed over. She's past C level. She's in the B level attractiveness. And she knows that. She's not stupid. Right? But she also knows that this is a thing that gets doors open for her or whatever, but they're interacting with a mask. And so the first thing that she looks at, if she's looking or noticing, is she's going to look at somebody and she's going to notice what are they interacting with? What's their interpretation of what's important about me? Now, and you're not seeing what she's putting up there for display or not owning it. She's like, oh, here's another lying adolescent masculine who's playing the politically correct card of, I don't notice that your body is different than mine.
I mean, I notice her body every day, every moment, every hour. Let's be clear.
Does she know
you
that?
asked me to look at the pixels, so it was a little different.
Does she know that?
Does she know
or
that?
Are you very careful? You're objectifying like mad, but you're also really clear that objectifying is wrong and you shouldn't do it.
Did I say
so
that?
You're going to hide it.
Did I say that?
No, if you grew up in this culture, you know it. And so Leona is looking for somebody that's going to interact with her in a more dangerous way and that isn't going to actually traumatize her.
I don't see how you got that from where we just were.
Because the thing that you put out there is a personal face, okay? Your public image is a mask. It's the things that you were taught were important that you could do to get value positive stuff.
Which is the woke agenda that you're pigeonholing me in. That's what we're talking about?
No, I'm saying that Leona was physically attractive and she got strokes for it, so she learned to dress attractively because that allows her to move through space in a certain kind of way. It means that she's not leading with that fierceness. She's not leading with that collie stuff. She's not, that stuff in there. Yeah, she's not leading with that stuff because she knows it gets her in trouble. She has to make sure it's safe, or there's a temple of some kind.
Any thoughts?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's right. I'm sorry.
No, so Leona, that would get you a real facial slap from me. Don't you ever freaking apologize again for speaking your truth, unless it's a very small child or a disabled elder. Okay? It's your truth. You might be in a situation, granted, there's a guy with the big KK and he's holding a shotgun on you. Lie your ass off. Okay? But with the rest of these people, never apologize for your truth.
That's one thing you and I can agree on, Craig.
Corey, no insult. You wouldn't, if Leona was truthful with you, you would spontaneously combust.
Maybe I'd like that.
Yeah, you would. But the point is that she doesn't want you liking it. She wants you dancing with it.
Yeah, well, I don't know what that means yet. So here we
Yes, I know that.
Ray, do you feel like you're successfully navigating his armor?
Hmm?
Do you feel like you're successfully navigating past his armor?
Yes. Why? Why do you think? What's my intention? My intention isn't to stab his soft underbelly. My intention is for him to say, "Well, shit, this is useless."
And you feel you're close.
I so whenever he looks at Leona now, yeah, he's going to be a little bit different inside.
I don't know. Well, we'll see. I'll get
Gee, why don't you try an acting class, Corey, and pretend that you will be different? Don't speak to your smallness. Don't speak like you're small.
I don't know how I would be different. I mean, I was attracted to her firstness when I first saw her.
No, you weren't
It's
attracted to her. You're
Yes, I
attracted to her
was.
public face.
What are you talking about,
You're
man?
looking at. You're an adolescent masculine. All you see is trophy.
I don't agree.
Okay, fine. What were you attracted to then?
Like I said, I mean, she's fierce. It's clear that she's a strong woman. I'm attracted to strong women. That's a story that I have about myself.
Okay. Good luck. How do you know a strong woman when you see them? What are the signifiers?
Well, it's all the stuff that rationalists talk about with agency, right?
I'm asking you for your opinion, not what some external authority figure has told you.
Okay.
I'm asking for you in real life. What are the signifiers?
People who do things, people who want things and do them and get them.
I want a Pepsi. That makes me strong?
I mean, bigger things, right? Like
what?
I mean,
world peace?
The bumper sticker on this Zoom call was like living the life you want, right? So women in this instance who are living the lives they want and have made choices that have given them parts of the life.
And you're telling me that you're looking at Leona and you're saying, oh, there's a woman living the life she wants to be living.
Along certain dimensions, yes.
Leona, on a scale of 1 to 10, broad generalities, how much of the life you want to be living are you living?
5.5 to 6.
More than half.
That's not powerful. That's average.
Yeah. I have a lot to catch up on. I'm moving. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of room. A lot of room still. I've only really been moving for about 2 to 3 years. So
you've been moving for 2 to 3.
Like actually moving.
Yes, I'm okay, fine. I would work on
maybe
Corey.
Megalomania also. Like my 10 is pretty high.
I don't think so. I think your 10 is really low, but this is my opinion.
Why do you think so?
Because you apologize for your truth unconsciously. I don't think that Corey is an important figure in your life. He's not paying your salary. He's not the father of your children. He's nothing really important. Yet you apologize to him for stating a very small truth. That to me pulls all of your 10s down to the 7 range. Okay?
I see what you mean, but I have a pretty high interest in kind of people around me not feeling terrible, especially people I like. And so I kind of just was.
Yes.
So I'm trying to write the balances a bit.
Okay. Hang on a second.
Leona.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Would you consider yourself a people?
Oh my God! What kind of cheese?
Didn't mute.
Okay.
Have the conversation.
A people pleaser?
Yeah.
Not in the classic sense, but somewhat, yeah. I think I used to be very disagreeable, and then I rediscovered empathy and moved somewhat too strongly towards the people-pleasing territory, yeah.
Okay. Is your agreeableness not authentic? Do you do that so that you can feel safer?
Do I do that? What?
Do you do that? Do you play being more available so that you can feel safer as a strategy to not own your own truth and to have the life that you want?
Yeah, definitely partially. It's
Mhm.
also like kind of when I'm not with myself, but rather with others. Like I kind of, which is also kind of keeps me safe if I just think of other people's needs, right?
Yeah, so you merge.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Do you want to do something?
Oh. Hmm. An insanely powerful woman who's visiting made me a quesadilla. I feel terrible about this, but it's pretty fucking good. It's pretty good.
What's
I
up,
have a
Ariel?
hard time accepting gifts.
You're asking something. Do I want to?
Do you want to stop merging? Do you want something different?
Dakota,
Probably
offer her
don't.
the alternative rather than saying,
It's taking after Rian.
What would it be like for you?
no, offer her the alternative. How would it feel if you?
How would it feel, Leona, if you did what you wanted all the time for you?
Not going to work.
I know, I need to penetrate her more. I'm not feeling as connected as I'd like to do that.
It's not going to work because she's a heavy philosopher,
I know.
and she's going to come back saying, "I'm already doing everything that I want to do.
No,
I'm making everybody
I was
else's."
gonna say I would feel afraid of causing harm.
Mm,
So, Leona,
Yeah.
what harm do you think you caused poor little Corey there? You're lying about who you are. You're treating him like an infant. Right? You're causing amazing harm by not paying attention to who and what you are. This is one of Alton's weaknesses, is that he likes to caretake the smallness in everybody instead of letting them get hurt, instead of letting them learn their own lessons, instead of being the thing that they can model.
The
Yeah,
alternative is you just tell them straight and you just have them eat it.
you do whatever you want to do, but it's not like saying, oh, he's kind of a mean man sometimes. He can be a little bit brusque. Some people don't like him, but just stay in there. It's okay. You'll get to the end of the 2 hours and you'll probably feel okay about it. He's a dick.
Not really what I
Go in
said,
there,
but-
deal with him. I find him very valuable.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be here after these 4.5-ish or something.
Oh,
years.
shut up. And you just did it again.
Okay. Still not got the path forward, Greg. You're saying that the path forward is to just be super straight with people and let them make their own choices. That's what I'm
No, it's not it's for you, Alton. I'm not speaking in generalities. Is like Leona. Be the truth of who you are and surround yourself with people who can take you being a dick or a cunt or whatever it is, being strong, being angry, and not take it personally.
Yeah.
How do I know what that is?
Practice.
How does one practice?
You start speaking your truth. You practice with Coda. You start speaking your truth. And it's difficult. At first, you usually have to go to some sort of extreme because your ability to judge the difference is difficult. Okay.
Well, just a few minutes ago, someone was walking by and I couldn't decide whether to chase after them or not because I wasn't sure which one was like more authentic.
I'm not worried about authenticity. What do you want to create with Coda? Do it in a politically incorrect way.
The wanting is what I'm referring to by authentic.
Okay, that's fine. Try it.
Try.
You know?
Okay.
Try being what you want. If you want her to fly out to New York City and boink your brains out, then fine. You can start off, she's an adult woman, she has her choices, and you can start off with that. You might want to put some social lubrication in there. You might want to give her a reason other than just your desire. I don't remember Ariel, but I remember that photo. Hated it then and I hate it now.
Looks kind of AI-y.
I don't think that's an AI image of Ariel. I have it that she's one of the most straight talking, truthful people who also has a huge amount of love too. And I wanted her ears on this.
I definitely don't think it's an AI photo. I just said it looks AI-y.
Another integral episode.
I also invited Ariel because she has a very clear handle on anger that I make up we could all learn from, and we all were just sharing about how that's something that we could do.
Anger isn't a thing. It's your personal expression of it. You can look and say, this is a tango, but it's your expression of the tango that's important. There's not a formula for being angry. It's about how, Alton, you're going to be angry different with Corey, different with Igor, different with Leona. There's no right way to do it. It's about in the moment. You can take Leona out and you can say, I'm going to be angry with you, and she's going to pop you in the nose. Dance with it. It's not a question and answer thing. It's about how do you dance with Leona, and you're experimenting with many different flavors of anger, or Igor. If Igor says, you slant-eyed little bastard, and you're saying, wow, that tickles, that feels good. Igor's going to go, what the hell? This isn't working. I want you to collapse on the floor. I want you to jump me. I get my jollies off when little guys jump me.
Alton.
Igor, I wanted
Can I ask a question?
Oh, sure.
Go ahead, you can go first.
No, you haven't spoken.
Oh God, there she
Go
goes
ahead.
again. Now she's saying, "Oh, you have such a little tiny penis. I'll let you go first, okay? I don't want your feelings to be hurt, and I don't want to be perceived as being rude or confrontative or anything." One of you go.
Alton, what do you mean? Okay, so Alton is texting me on the side about his opinion here. What do you mean when you said that I have a handle on anger? What does that mean?
I didn't hear I didn't hear the full sentence.
Well, you said a couple minutes ago, Ariel has a handle on anger.
Yes.
And then I said, does that mean you
more of a handle
think
on
I
your
have?
experience with anger? Which I mean you're like fluent when there's anger present, that you're able to articulate that and own that and name that without it being at effect of it, and then having it like come out sideways or like volcanically.
Oh, okay.
When I experience quality time with you, when you're in your anger, I make up that I'm now more present to how maybe everybody else in my life has anger issues, and they suppress it and they have it leak out sideways. And my passive aggressive avoidant conflict avoidant parts are more pronounced because I make up you have so much more easeful, healthy access to expressing it.
I don't think anger is a healthy emotion.
Well, I mean, that's not something I'm surprised to hear you say that, but that's.
So now
I mean,
there's
I think
healthy emotions
boundaries
and
are healthy.
unhealthy.
I think boundaries are healthy, but anger is pretty toxic and
Wow, that's
harmful
definitely
to
not my
others.
Alton?
I don't know if that.
Alton,
What do you think?
Alton, I trust you less now.
How Ariel, how do you know what your boundaries are except for when anger tells you?
Are you insane, man? Really? Her boundaries can be like, I don't like salt on my steak. That's a boundary.
Yeah.
What does anger have to do with that? She likes
I
chocolate
think there's
sauce
anger
on her
involved in
Cheerios.
that.
It doesn't. Oh God. So really, serious, Ariel. I don't know which way you swing, okay? But I look at Leona and I'm like, dancing with her when she was angry would be an amazing dance. I would cherish that. If she's picking up things to throw them at me, that's super intimate. Because look at how can you see it? You can see her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think anger is an easy thing for her to let out and dance with? That means that she's being really intimate with whoever it is that she's focusing the anger on.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. I don't think there's, again, it depends on how you define healthy. I don't think they're healthy. The emotions are. We have them all. It's how you dance with them. It's what you want to do with them. They're just information.
Yeah. I guess I just personally feel bad when I'm unkind to people out of anger.
Oh, yeah, but yeah. See, now, unfortunately, I worked in ERs in the Navy, and I had lots of people hate me for stitching them up. Little children, too. They hated me. I've had small children run away from me in PXs because that's the guy who hurt me. But would I do it again? Absolutely. There's a lot of people out here, Ariel, that will change who they are if they're on the receiving end of your focused, intentful anger that will not do it otherwise. Rian being a really good example, in my opinion.
I guess so.
I guess so.
Ideally, I would like to cultivate relationships where you can say something in a gentle, softer way, and then people listen.
Okay.
Or care to change.
Good luck with that.
Good luck. Okay.
Yeah, you don't live in the
Very
same culture
doable,
that I do.
Ariel. You don't have to live in Cray's world.
Brings
You
me
live
back,
in Rian's.
Igor, to your question about why do you have to let the child go? If you want to live in the world where you can be angry and people actually have positive change, you have to first let the child go off the cliff. Because as long as the child says, I'm not safe when I'm angry, you can't do that.
Yes. Uh-oh, Jochen. No immigrants. This is a land unto itself. JJ, is that you? Is this a different JJ? Does anybody know?
It is
You're just
JJ.
packing. She's
It
packing
is
for a trip.
me. I'm packing.
Packing what? Like you have pistols on? I hope you have pistols and nothing else. That would be really great.
No, mainly lingerie.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you're European. What do you know about lingerie?
What? Are we good at lingerie in America? I don't know that.
No,
JJ,
this is bait.
JJ, I really wanted to feel your fire today.
You did, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Mm.
Well, do you want to project me or play hard to get so that I can lean against it and really get connected with how bad that feels?
Mm. Should we go into breakout room?
No, come on, Dakota. If you want to go to a breakout room, do it, not should. And get the gum out of your mouth. Really? Seriously? Come on. Don't swallow it.
I'm not going to. Hmm. It's not letting me go into breakout rooms.
Alton has to do it. He's a control freak.
I'm curious about the anger thing. You said, I think you're right about the fact that getting really angry at someone could change them in a way that might be good for them. But still, I agree with Ariel in that I don't like to do it. It feels bad for me. So
Yeah, and guess what Trump feels about not putting his hands on women? He feels very bad about not doing that. Guess what a racist feels like if they don't do their racist thing? They will feel really bad about that.
that's what I'm
Just
getting at.
because you have a character that
Responsibility to do it. That's what I'm getting at. Do you think I have a responsibility to do it, even though
I think you have a responsibility to Leona to practice being the most truthful version of her, and hopefully by being that, you can give other people the challenge and the permission to be equally truthful with you, and thus we might build a better tomorrow. If we're all wandering around trying to keep each other safe and not to trigger them and to be inauthentic in our authenticity, good luck with that.
No, I mean, I think it's true. It's just very hard to kind of reconcile with
Oh,
the
man.
kind of spaces I move in tend to require a certain modicum of emotional safety.
Yeah.
So like providing that is almost.
If you keep hanging out in your racist society, guess what? There's no hope of you changing.
JJ, maybe in one.
Trying.
I also don't know of any spaces that have the qualities I appreciate, but don't require emotional safety.
Yeah, but imagine if you were down south in 1940. I'm sorry, I can't be non-racist here because I might lose a business contract or something.
True. Okay.
You like that because you're being shown that you're being stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate being, I kind of like being called out.
You don't kind of like being called out. You like being called out because that means that somebody is paying attention to something different than your cleavage. If somebody's paying attention to your cleavage, they're not going to call you out.
It's really not so much just the cleavage as also the emotionally safe personality, right? I mean, it's the cleavage too, but it's not just that.
MBB.
It's front and center, girlfriend.
It's really not that bad. I'm not even wearing a bra. Like, they're not even.
That's the point.
No. If I was wearing a bra, believe me, it would be way more in your face.
I agree with you that you could be more in my face. When you walk into a room, what do you think people notice first?
My face, my hair. I don't know.
Okay, there you go. So my request is you find about 10 people of both whatevers and ask them. Ask them. When I walked into a room, and I want you to be as honest with me as you can, what's the first thing you notice about me? See what they say.
Okay.
I'm down.
What?
I think that was the side room thing.
Oh, Leela, you left your microphone on. There's Leela who's joined, but her microphone's on. And her video's on.
How you doing, Corey?
A little disengaged again, but
Safer that way.
I mean, I got triggered. I got my money's worth.
Yeah.
Craig triggered me. It feels like my story about you right now is like you're good at offering like unconstructive criticism, right? Where it's like I don't really know what to do with it, but you criticize me in a way that like landed, and it's just like okay.
So now you're sitting there going, I'm a racist, homophobic, misogynistic, Aryan nation idiot. And I don't like the way this feels. Yeah. How am I going to get out of this? My job isn't to say, do this, do this, do this. My job is to say, where you are, it looks pretty sucky.
I'm pretty happy with where I am, dude.
Then fine. Don't listen to me.
Again, I mean, I feel like you used that on me the last time I was on one of these calls with you a few years ago, right? And you were like, well, why'd you show up to this call? And I was like, I'm here for Alton. And yet again, I'm here for Alton. And I'm like, I'm here. I'll take your medicine, but it didn't
No,
work.
you won't. If you spent 4 years, if you spent 2 years since the last one and you haven't changed, you didn't take your medicine.
I have changed. I didn't say that I didn't change.
Oh,
Craig.
okay.
Yeah. I don't remember when it was I saw you.
Oh,
Like, I've changed a
this
lot.
is the change. This is the moving
Lived,
forward.
right? I mean, that's just the nature of living.
This
Otherwise,
is you moving forward into betterness.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You didn't know me then. You don't know me now. Why
I
do you
know,
say
I
it's
did.
not that, right? Like, what?
You're not showing up as anything that I would care to ever spend another moment with. Nothing personal.
I mean, likewise, bro.
Yeah.
That's why I haven't shown up.
Then why are you here? If you don't like this, leave.
I'm here for Alton. It's the
No,
same thing I said
no,
last time.
not.
I'm curious what Alton is doing.
Take his
He clearly
appendage
puts
out
a
of
lot
your
of
mouth.
weight. He puts a lot of weight on your modality, the way you do things. So I'm down to dip my toes in. I got some friends here. They're all people whose perspectives that I respect. I'm curious what their perspectives on the Cray scenario are, right? Like, I'm having fun, mostly.
Okay.
A little bored
Mostly.
sometimes, but other people have to give them their spotlight, right? I'm not so special.
No,
I
you
get spotlight
don't. You
for the whole 2
don't.
hours.
There's no format here. Nobody's taking time measurements on anybody else. You can be the selfish prick that you've always wanted to be. You can monopolize the time.
I'm sure. I don't need that personally. I don't.
Really? Your hairstyle says otherwise.
Over-indexing on the tits, over-indexing on the hair.
Right. What do you
Bro.
What? You want me to over-index on the shoes that I can't see? This is your public face. Look at my shirt.
Yeah. It's a fun shirt. I like that shirt.
Yes.
Like a crazy
It's supposed
uncle
to be
shirt.
fun. Yes.
I would talk to you at a
exactly.
party and be like, cool shirt, bro. I actually had a
Yeah.
crazy story. I mean, this is on a tangent, but I was at my friend's wedding last weekend, and there was a crazy uncle wearing a crazy shirt, and that reminds me of that. And that dude was
Yes.
crazy. So,
So
anyways.
you had to pick your fetlock, okay? This didn't happen accidentally. You had to pick it. You had to pick the color. You had to pick the position. This is part of your public face.
That's fair. I mean, Leona didn't pick
what
her
is the
tits,
message
right? She
you're
was
trying
born
to
with them. She
send?
presents how she's presenting them, sure, but they're also just part of her body, and maybe she wants
No.
to be comfortable, right? I'm just so broke pilled. My brain is broken, woke pilled. I just can't even see. Tits are part of a human's body, and maybe they don't want to just be presenting it. Like, what?
Okay.
Listen to yourself, man.
Right. And your hair just happened to be that color, and there's nothing attached to it, and there's no signifier. You know, a signifier has a signifier.
I think it looks cool. I feel
Why?
cute. I
Why
feel
in
cute.
the world would you think that looks cool? I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm just saying, explain to me in your coolness, hair coolness, why, I don't know, off aqua, maybe? I don't know what the color
It
is.
was green. It's bluish now. It's like
Okay, so why is that cool?
Okay, in my brain broken way, I've seen men and women with fun stripes like this, and I thought that they looked fun and cool, and I liked the way it looked on their head, and so I was like, I want to look like that.
Did it work?
I look as cool as I thought they were. Yes.
Oh, good.
I have strangers, Craig, come up to me and say, "I love your hair." Like, you think they're all brain broken too? Like, what?
I don't. People can come up to me and say I hate you, and I don't put any credence in that. Somebody comes up and says I like your mustache. I'm like, why are you telling me this?
I think people should wear and dress and alter their body in the ways that make them feel good, and that is what I'm doing.
Good, and you're not even attempting to understand why it makes you feel good.
I mean, what is behind vanity and narcissism or whatever you want to, philosophical versions of looking good in the mirror, feeling good when you look in the mirror. I think that's a pretty valuable thing.
Because what you're looking at is a stereotype.
Of what?
You're doing for you, it's coolness. I don't know what the association is in your meaning making about people who have a fetlock. Okay, I don't know, but I do hear you saying that if people have a fetlock, okay,
what is a fetlock? What is a fetlock?
It's a piece of a horse's hair thing. It looks sort of like what you have.
Okay, I will go Google that later. Cool.
Yeah. People who know horses know what I'm talking about.
Sure.
So you have this thing, and for whatever reason, you think it looks cool. You know, Coda thinks that wearing her hoodie like that is cool. Jochen thinks that that kind of beard is cool. And we can say, oh, it's like my father. I thought my father was the coolest person on the planet, and I grew this because I want to be like him. You know? Or Coda's like, I don't know why she's doing that, but there's a reason. You're making choices because of your meaning making. Leona chose that dress, okay? There were many other dresses to be chosen at that time. Right? She said that one because in her brain, in her meaning making, it said something about her. Out of all the possible choices, she's not just rolling dice, okay? She's saying, in my mind, black and white means I'm Catholic, and I want to be seen as Catholic. I don't know what it is. But for you, there's people who wear little ponytails up top of their head. You know, they think that looks cool. I don't know why. You're not doing things accidentally. Anything that involves conscious choice, you're doing because it means something. You're trying to manipulate people around you. There's a certain kind.
I don't know about manipulating people, but yes, people do things for reasons. Yes.
Yes. And for you, this means something. It's not red. It's not coming out of the back of your head.
Well,
there's not two ponytails.
It takes like hours less to do this than to do more parts of your head. So that's part of the decision matrix.
Okay, good. It's time efficient. All right. Yeah. Fine.
Graham, I'm trying to understand, you want to get more to the bottom of Corey's introspective capacity around like why he's chosen his hairstyle, and he's
no.
Okay.
Nobody else was doing anything interesting. He's the only one who wants to engage.
Yeah, let's double click on Igor maybe. Let's see.
Igor,
so
in my
bullshit,
I am
Trey.
like I am
I've been
happy
trying
with
to engage
Igor.
multiple times, and you've just been cutting down my phrasing.
That's true,
So
right?
shallowly.
Engaging.
I don't like Rian. I don't like his character. I'm quite okay with that.
When you say you're happy with
And
me,
say
what do you
that
mean by
though.
that?
You said that nobody else is trying to engage. You didn't say nobody else that I like engaging with.
Yes, a little bit of bait goes out in the water, and Rian comes running up to it and goes, "Mine! I'm going to make a point now. You are incorrect, Cray.
It's not a
Own
matter of
your
being incorrect.
incorrectness."
It's a matter of being an asshole.
I'm fine being an asshole.
And
Sure,
incorrect.
but you are fine being an asshole because you see it as expedient to some other end. And I'm
No,
saying that your instance
don't.
of being an asshole in the time that I'm referring is out of line with your values.
I don't think so.
I'm telling you you're wrong. That's why
That's
I'm
fine.
clear you don't think so.
Believe me, I do not care about your opinion about me, Rian. None. Nothing.
I mean, it kind of cuts down whatever coaching advice you're giving if you're saying factually incorrect statements. You know what I mean?
You're handsome, Corey.
Cool. Again, like stands, right? Like it doesn't make me put credence on what you
If
say.
you
I don't
can't,
I don't think how correct he's being matters nearly so much as the fact that he's like openly dissing the people that he's dissing for not participating.
Well, he wants participation, and you've been showing up, and he didn't recognize that, right? I mean, so
if you can't see past the old man bluster, listen to the words, then I don't want to really engage with you. So I'm going to put the old man asshole out there. And if you buy into it, you're clearly somebody I don't want to really engage with. I'm here.
All of your criticisms of my attempts at participation have been so shallow. It's so hypocritical.
Why does it get to you so much if it's so shallow? Like you seem more upset now than you were earlier. Like why? Why do you care?
Why do I care now, or why do I care at all?
Right now, like your face to me seems much more upset in the last couple of minutes than earlier. Like why are you so engaged if you don't care?
If I don't care, I do care. I'm not pretending not to.
Okay, I misheard then.
No. I
Don't mess with Igor. I am warning you guys. Do not mess with Igor.
I'm a proud tryhard. I'm talking to Igor here.
I don't care.
All right, well, this isn't Discord, so I can't mute you. It's just incredibly disruptive to the productivity of the conversation that I'm trying to have with him.
Yes, I don't care about your productivity.
Okay,
you're
well,
a very small mouse in a very small cage, and you're trying to be productive in a small mouse way. I got other people here that are not small little mice running around in little tiny containers, in my opinion.
Like Corey?
No, clearly I'm not the one he's putting on a pedestal here, but he has put Igor on a pedestal. So I'm curious why he has, right? Like I want
Yeah,
to.
I am as well. Well, you said you were very happy with me. What makes you happy with me?
No, the
Because-
issue that I have, Igor, is the actions and words being out of line from Cray is what bothers me.
You seem to really
So-
care about him.
So you don't care that Leona is doing the same thing?
Me?
Yes.
Yes, clearly.
You're
Clearly
upset
saying
with
we're paying
Leona
attention.
because of her smallness showing up now is insanely opposite to how big she is. Look
I
at
don't-
Leona. Look at
Sure,
Leona. You see how quiet she is? How small she is?
sure.
Okay? That's a lie.
I'm aware.
Then why aren't you upset with her?
I'm upset with everyone in the fucking world,
Oh,
dude,
good.
for exactly this.
Good. So it doesn't really matter who you're. It's a
does
generic
matter.
thing. Fine.
I'm a being of finite resources. I can't attend to everyone's self-delusion at once.
I am not interested in being coherent so that you understand me. If you can't understand me, that's your problem.
That's a nice non sequitur. It has nothing to do with what I just said, which was responsive to your thing.
I am quite okay saying one thing
Nobody's
and doing
asking
another.
you, dude. Nobody's asking.
Anyhow. Hello, Chris.
He's under Alton contract. He doesn't care about any of us, right? I mean,
Okay. So, Leela and I have something to talk about. We've been fighting a lot. We've been going on peaks and valleys, and I thought we'd bring it here to hear some voices talk about it.
You want to know who's right and who's wrong?
I mean, part of me, like, partly, yeah. So most of the time, I do want
Chris,
that, but also,
Why
I'm
not just
hoping-
enjoy fighting?
Chris, if you want to stop, pick someone who you think can help you and go into a breakout room.
Yeah,
Who do you want?
I want Cray.
I have to stay in the main room. Sorry, Chris.
That's okay.
Chris, if you and Leona really want to talk to me, I'd be happy to give you some time. Just message me. I'll talk to you.
Okay.
And Chris,
Yes, sir.
it's more for you than Leela.
Okay.
Here we are.
Do you want to tell me why you're so happy with me? You're like, we got cut off multiple times.
I think that you have a belly that you're not afraid of. I think you have balls that you may not be mechanically too well versed with, but you're not afraid of them.
Mm.
And it's like, I could say something similar about Leona too, but she's a lady. You can't really say things like that about ladies. But at least your aggressiveness and your carnivorousness and your liking of eating meat and engaging with meat is, to me, is right out there. If you could be a Cossack and I would believe you. If you told me you were a Cossack, I would believe you.
I was told I would be triggered in this call, and that made me excited.
No. You'd have to have somebody being soft and gentle with you and accepting your rage for you to get triggered.
Hmm.
You're not going to get triggered by other ballsy guys.
That makes sense. Yeah.
The only time I've seen Igor triggered is when I broke his COVID preferences during COVID while we were living together. I've never seen him triggered otherwise.
Yeah. He's not going to get triggered about Igor. He can admit to anything. Can he act anything?
Any, sorry, what?
I don't think you can act from that. I think you could tell Leona anything.
Hmm.
If you said, Leona, do you really want to hear? I think that you could tell her anything about yourself.
I think that's true. People have also told me that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Acting
But
from that. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
acting, I think her look of shock would have you run.
Maybe, yeah.
That assumes there'd be a look of shock, though.
That was bait, Leona.
Well, it worked.
Yeah. Are you okay with that?
Yeah. I actually want to like.
Careful, Leona. You have all those clients out there, all those people who want to give you all that money. They might check in on a live stream, and they might send their little AI agents out there to track you down.
No, I don't have
Be
any.
very careful what you say here, Leona. There's a lot riding
Mm.
what you say.
Okay. Can we do an experiment?
What? Who are you talking to?
You.
What do you want? I'm nervous now. There's a high-priced bureaucrat after me.
Are you feeling nervous?
Yes. Anxious, probably.
Well, I noticed that you care a lot about us.
That's a supposition. You can't point to the signifiers.
You just said he didn't.
Well, you said you did, but okay. My
I
experience
don't
when I
care about you.
listened like to the tone of your voice speaking to Chris and Leela saying that you're happy to give them some time was I heard your heart break through, and I loved it personally. And I was wondering if we could have that side of you for the rest of the call.
No.
How about for 10 minutes?
No. If you want it for you, then you tell me why you want it for you.
Why I want it for me?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, when you use that side with me, it makes my heart open a lot more and I feel more melted and more able to like receive whatever it is that you're sharing.
And for me, that in my meaning making is me raping you. Because I want you to bring your heart and your openness because you choose to, not because of what somebody else is doing. That's a personal standard I have. I would love to engage with your heart and your whatever. I'm not here to make you feel any way. That's up to you. You get to feel however you want to feel.
I still do have a preference though for the kinder version.
Yes, you do.
Okay. And I'm hearing that you don't want to share that at this time.
No.
Okay.
Well, you said that you were open to it if you heard her speak from her part or her place? Or
I said I was willing to talk to her. She told me about it. Like if she, if I'm
I
not
guess
on.
I personally feel more raped by like the aggressive tone and nature. And that to me is more like feels like an invasion of my space.
Yep. And may I, Ariel? Can I
Sure.
say something that you might find offensive?
Sure.
I think that's your child. I think your child was brutalized, raped, however you want to define that. Lots of nasty things happened. And you're using her projections to determine how you're going to interact with the world.
That's definitely not my experience.
Oh, yeah. That's fine. I'm wrong.
Like when you say that about my child, it just doesn't feel that resonant.
Oh, yeah. That's fine. I mean, I'm sorry for whatever happened, Ariel.
Oh, I think it cut out. I just said that when you say that, it doesn't feel that resonant for me.
I know. And I'm saying, I don't know what happened to you, Ariel. And in my reality right now, I'm sorry. I can't change it. But I'm sorry that it happened. And I don't think you were at fault. And that's me.
Thank you.
Most of this stuff, guys, is one of my self-declared jobs is to show up as something you have to push against. Something that you have to say, I want this to be different, and I'm going to push against it. You're not victims anymore. Well, you have been, and now you get to start pushing back against your victim mentality. If you don't want to do that, don't interact with me. You get to stand up and say, this is what I want to have happen. This is how I want to feel. This is how I want to interact. And I may say yes and I may say no, but at least you get to declare it. You don't have to make it safe out there. You don't have to remove all the bugaboos. You can stand exactly where you are and ask for what you want. You can own what you want. You don't, it might be totally unsafe even to voice it.
What I find interesting, Craig, is that just maybe 2, 3, 4 months ago, I was still very much caught up in thinking that what I heard you say is projection from this kind of child stance, where I felt that is my only reality. Because it feels so real in the moment. It really feels that that is me.
It is, but it's a child you.
Of course. But in that moment, I cannot take the perspective that there's something else other than the
Yes,
child.
you can. Stop saying that.
No, now I can. Now I can. But when I'm really in the child projecting.
Sorry, Jochen. You always can. You speak. I can always get out of this. And you keep practicing.
No, yes, you're right. But it is really, it feels like
it's invigorating, isn't it, Joe?
It is.
Yes,
absolutely.
it's invigorating.
It is. It absolutely is. But it like it's only something.
Don't you dare! Don't you
after
dare!
I get out of it, then it becomes clear that I could have gotten out of it.
You just had to say that, didn't you? You just had to say that.
Yeah.
You didn't. Don't do it. Just stand in the place that I can always get out of this.
Yes, I can.
Stop. When you fall down, if you fall down, deal with it.
Yeah.
Don't speak it. Keep those racial epithets to yourself. How you doing, Miss Leona? You look like you're about ready to kill something.
Oh, do I?
Yes.
No, I was just slightly bored, but not too much. But I was kind of like, can you poke me where it hurts?
Why don't you step up and point out to what you want, how you want to be poked, and where you want to be poked?
Well, isn't that kind of what you do? You find where it hurts the most.
Yeah, I know, but I'm asking you to step up to the plate.
I did that when I brought in the shame of the fear of being seen.
What do you want right now, Leona?
What do I want right now? I want to see something that I haven't seen yet about myself. I want to see my blind spots. Like I want to.
Yeah, but why? What are you going to do with it?
Well,
Is it going to make you special like Corey?
Is there what?
Is it going to make you special like Corey, who if he has an ego death? Oh, look, I've got the badge. I've seen a blind spot. It was pointed out to me.
Oh, no.
What are you going to do with it?
It feels kind of like there's tubes and there's like kinks in the tubes and then shit will be better.
Put your hand on your lower belly. What does it want? Yeah, that right there. Right there. Now, you step up to the plate. I'm not saying say anything right now, but at least inside your own awareness, be okay with what that lower belly wants. Close your eyes, Leona. Leona, close your eyes. Watch the video. Now close your eyes. Watch the video of it showing you what it wants and be okay with that.
I can't see it. That's the point. Like I can't, there's like a...
Close your eyes. Keep your hands there. Keep your eyes. Ask for the lights to be turned up. Say that you might be scared about. Yeah, that right there. Yeah.
I still don't see it, but
yeah, but what?
I could just now feel that there is something and that I'm actually scared to see it.
Good. So
like I won't let myself.
Ask that little girl to step aside. She's protecting you. Ask her to step aside, and you just want to see it. If it really is that horrible, she's going to jump back in and protect you.
Mm.
But just ask her to let you see a little bit of it. And if she lets you see a little bit, own it. It's okay. This is part of you. And then ask her to let you see a little bit more. And if she says, I'm scared that you're going to do something crazy, you say, I understand that. That's why you're here. Because if I start to do something crazy, I totally know that you're going to jump in the driver's seat and take care of this.
Mm.
But I would like to see what this thing is that is so wanted that it made itself known on a live stream.
I wish
Yeah, that, no.
I can't see it. Like,
Yeah, I know. Can you smell it?
mm.
Can you hear it?
Feel it a little bit.
Well, then allow it to be bigger.
Mm.
Just allow it to be bigger. However you can make it more, just allow that. This is you too, Chris, by the way. You got to start, Leona.
Yeah, I can feel that it's there, and I can't get at it. I think that's why I was asking. Like,
Look
can
at-
someone else find it for me? Like, no.
Look at your pixels, Leona. Is it right that you don't know what's happening in your own experience? No, it's not. Some part of you has told you you cannot know what this is. For what you want to be on the planet, for how you want to be on the planet, that's unacceptable. So you have to do something that proves you can hold the container better than she can.
Mm.
And the only way you're going to do that is put yourself in situations where she's screaming and yelling at you not to do something, and you're going to be like, I'm jumping off this cliff. I will take care of the mess. If there's a mess, I'll take care of it. You don't have to worry about this anymore.
Oh, I have been trying and will continue to try.
Stop trying and do it.
Yeah.
You could do it tonight. You could do it this evening. You could take any one of these people there and you can say, okay, come on. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to break your skin, okay? But I'm going to do some things that makes my parts extremely uncomfortable. You may just talk about it.
Yeah, let's do that. I would like to do that.
So you have to be real clear, Leona, that they may not react the way that you want them to react. Eh? They may run yipping like little tiny poodles into the hills. Igor, down, boy. You're being very quiet, Igor.
I've been thinking about how you said that you were happy with me, and I've been
Are you
wondering-
not paying attention to the room one more time?
Yeah. Are you now less happy than me?
She's doing that, and you're paying attention.
I was paying
to your
attention to
own
that as
thoughts
well. I was paying
as
attention
well.
to that as well.
Hmm.
I was multitasking, but I was trying to figure out how to make you less happy with me. That was my goal.
Why?
Because I feel like I always make people happy with me, especially in perceived positions of authority. And if you want to move differently, I wanted to provoke you to be less happy with me. That felt like a different move I can make.
Then challenge me.
Ah,
Challenge me and be successful.
wow.
Leona wants you to.
I don't know. You're not that. It's fun looking at you. It's kind of like the people with the cat. You just have a laser pointer and get people spinning in their circles. That's good entertainment. Like, I don't know what to do like with that. I'm curious, like sometimes you feel like your head's about to explode.
Igor, stand up, turn around, say, Leona, would you like to practice right now? Take her out, have her do the practice, and then come back.
Okay, do you want to practice right now?
Yeah.
Igor,
Yes.
Igor, checkmate.
Well,
You're not going to be able to top that one.
what do you mean?
I just checkmated you. If you're looking to challenge me and to get better than me, you're going to have to come up with a move better than that one. Now, will you please go and do your exercise and pay attention to her instead of your own thought processes about yourself, please?
No, I'm good for now.
Oh, Jesus.
I think I might do that later.
The exercise was the belly thing?
The exercise was to go with Leona, and Leona's going to do whatever she wants to do. I don't know what she's going to do.
What if I don't know what I want to do?
You practice taking small steps. If it's putting your finger in his eye, then you say, I think I want to put my finger in your eye. And he's going to say, no, you can't do that. Can I put my finger on your forehead? Yes, you can put your finger on my forehead. You're just taking successive approximation. That part of you won't let you see the final thing, but you're smart enough to know that it probably doesn't have to do with darning his socks. It probably doesn't have to do with mixing him a drink. Maybe. Seriously, Igor? Really?
Yeah, really.
I just lost. Yeah, that's some serious pointage going down the toilet. Oh well, that's just me.
You did it. He's less happy with you. You did it. Woohoo.
Unbelievable.
Mhm.
There's a whole buffet right over there. It's freshly cooked by a 4-star Michelin chef.
Yeah,
Now,
but
I
I
like
care more
my
about
peanut
fucking
butter
with you.
and jelly. I like my peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah, I'm actually
But-
more happy fucking with you. You have a limited time on this
Oh,
call.
you are. Yeah.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? I mean,
I feel like he's losing out tremendously by not going in the other room with Leona.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so shitty to watch.
Hmm.
But you're gonna play whatever games you want to play.
Yep.
Yeah.
People do. Alton could have said, "Oh my God, there's more than just Igor in here. She's gonna refuse to do it with me because I'm a pencil neck geek. But by God, I can kick that in the ass and I can say it anyway. I know she's gonna refuse. But I want to show that part of myself that's like, oh, you can't be refused by anybody. Don't even ask. I'm going to own the fact that I'm like, Leona, I am so curious about what you might do with me in search of your own thing. How would you like to go try that right now? The hell with this damn broadcast. He could have done that. And she's just sitting there like a wet noodle, bag of wet potatoes. Jesus.
Yeah, I have a story that he would have the greatest effect on her out of that room right now, too. And it's
Oh, God.
pretty devastated.
No, it's not about him. It's about Leona.
I know it's about Leona. I'm saying who could create the space for her to be herself the best right now.
Leona. Have you not been listening?
I have been fucking listening, Cray.
Well, obviously, evidence to the contrary.
I am entirely
Chewing gum
positive.
again. Do you know how ridiculous it is trying to take you seriously when you have this little piece of gum that keeps squirreling around in your mouth? Huh?
I'm not gonna do what you want.
Oh, good. You're going to stand on principles, just like Igor is. Way to model something, Goda.
I know, I'm killing it.
No, you're not.
I'm making a joke. Don't be a fucking asshole.
You're being a bitch. You're being a little tiny, whiny little brat.
that's what we're all here for. We're here for Cray the asshole. Like, I mean, why would we be here otherwise?
To learn
To grow up.
something. To grow up. Ooh, Jokin.
I don't
You got to
know.
be careful, Jokin. You're get all that stuff that you've been writing, which has been really good. You're gonna take it out of prose and put it into action, and it's going to be really. Now Jochen has already come back, and he's like, "Where's Leona?" And says, "Oh, she's recovering." And he's gay, so that's going to be really interesting. How's your belly now, Leona?
It's like hurts a little bit and is also numb otherwise.
Okay, so the numbness, again, that's a cover story that your pathology is sending you.
I know. But it's very persistent.
So may I? You may not like this, Leona.
Yeah, please.
Imagine that you're in the center of all these men and they're all fighting to get at you because you are so something and they're scared to engage with you. How does that feel? They all really want to engage with you, but they're all terrified.
And it makes me like scream fire.
Yep. Congratulate. Yep. That's what all of you really embodied feminines, you get to look around and say, nobody's engaging. They're all too afraid. To have somebody step up and say, you know what? I don't know what I'm doing. I think you're going to be grossly unsatisfied with me. But by God, I'm willing to put myself out there. Do it. Go ahead. Go ahead, Leona. Give it your best shot. I will do anything. And you're like, really? You're like, okay. You better not be pouting, Leela. Dream catchers. Oh, Lord.
I've noticed how I've developed a masculine structure, however you mentioned, to get around in the world.
Oh, really? You're just now noticing it?
Yeah. And
how old is it?
I don't know, I think.
Yeah.
I found it in mom's womb.
Yep.
It was delivered with her, full package.
Can I ask you a question, Leela?
Yeah.
Are you pissed off because Chris's feminine is more developed than yours?
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, he is more developed than my feminine. And I don't want to be a man.
Evidence to the contrary.
Huh?
Evidence to the contrary.
What does that mean? Evidence?
It means you show up as a masculine.
Is it just my essence? Or
no, it's not your fucking essence. It's your learned coping skills.
Yeah. But then when I melt into feminine and he turns masculine, it feels like I get completely dominated. And I have no free will or free choice.
Well, that's because he's doing it poorly. Leela, no matter what your kid tells you, you're always a choice. Always at choice. If you're doing top and bottom stuff, you're still always at choice because you always have the safety word. You're never not at choice. When he's doing his masculine thing and that little voice is like, oh, I'm not a choice, you say, yes, I am. Because you're doing the opposite of what she wants you to do. Okay? You're saying, I am choosing to put myself in this situation. And she's like, something terrible is going to happen. You have to stop this. And you're like, I'm choosing to be here doing it this way because I choose to do it.
Mm. It feels like a feminine to me when I go into the femininity of things. It's just like, it feels like absorbing everything as it is.
No, it's not true.
Completely.
I know. But imagine you're a racist, Leela. And you say, when I sit down next to one of them, the air changes. I feel like I'm about to jump out of my skin. I fear for the safety of my ancestors. They're going to give you a line that supports their feelings. You have to use that frontal brain, those frontal lobes of yours, to make the argument nonsensical. You're always at choice. You may not like what you're doing. That's true.
Okay, great. Well, this is
What?
good. This was a good round. It's 15
Oh,
minutes.
you're dismissing me?
I feel all right.
Wow.
And well set up.
Oh, shut up.
Back in your lamp, Genie. Back in your lamp.
Yeah.
I feel inspired to take on some of the practices you mentioned, and I think we could do that in mass. So thank you.
So, Alton, if you want to make me feel really great, make sure that you're the first one to ask Leona.
Yeah, well, I mean, my intention was to do that immediately after this call was complete. To
Well, you could be doing it now.
on live. Do you think I make up that wouldn't be as useful for her to access?
I'm
Like you-
more interested that she starts doing the exercise. If you notice how still she's gotten,
Yeah.
okay, that's not a good sign.
Right. I make up that she was being less safe, and that's why I wanted to complete this so we could start the other exercise.
Go away, Alton. Can you take her hand? Is that okay?
I haven't.
Just go take her away, you idiot.
I want to complete the stream first. Like,
You have. Go away.
I mean, it's just gonna.
Corey, make sure you unplug the computer.
Yeah.
I can
Just
set it
press
up. I
the
can turn
button.
it off if you want me
Press
to.
the button, Alton.
Well, I also wanted to share that and then do that in connection.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So, Leona, I'm sorry. Okay. I am sorry that this is the gym equipment that you have to play with. Okay. I am. Okay. Sincerely, I am. Because, yeah. I don't know what you're going to do.
Pre-existing connection that I
God, God.
I don't mind if you do the
Isn't
exercise.
this important?
She's her own woman, right? We already established that she's a strong woman, so I don't mind. Like, you don't need my input here.
Right. I mean, I want to increase the surface area of community practices.
Okay. Yeah. If you break a couple bones, Leona, they may understand it better. Like if you actually break one of their fingers really quickly, they might start taking you a little bit more seriously. So, Leona, please take care of yourself, okay?
And everyone else remember the safe word. Have a good night, Craig.
Leona, you're probably going to be very disappointed. Don't act out, okay?
I'll be very gentle.
Yeah, that's not the point.
No.
I gotta pee again. Good to see you, Craig. Everyone else.
Yeah. I can
Bye,
go,
Corey.
yes?
Yeah, we can go. Thank you for that.
Yep.
Okay, well, if you guys want to debrief, you're welcome to. I'm gonna take it off live unless there's anything else you want to say on here. I feel very full. Okay, we'll take it
Close
off.
the computer. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Igor,
Bye.
is your last name Turzik?
Yeah.